So tell me, how do you feel? How do you feel about going into the Fibo show, and what, if anything's changed from Detroit to now?
So I hadn't decided on Fibo until I saw what happened at Detroit, how I looked, how I felt. So I couldn't really look past it. And it was the day after on the plane back. I thought, I feel good. I feel fresh. I'm not really suffering like I usually do. So it would be silly of me not to jump into Fibo because it's 1 hour and a half on the plane. My name was getting thrown around, after getting compared to Bonac so well. So I thought, strike while the iron's hot. And yeah, I feel fine. If anything, I think I'm going to be a little bit sharper. I do feel harder. I feel drier without starting the drying process.
Mhm.
Um, I know this because obviously from pictures and from Chris Acito's feedback, but I feel the pain a little bit more. So I always know when I'm in this kind of low blood sugar type feeling, I know that the condition is it's very very peak. So I know I'm going to be sharper. So hopefully the peak goes well and I can show that condition from Detroit plus a little bit more and come in nice and full. Just do my best, really. I'm looking forward to standing up with Andrew and Sergio. I know Andrew's one of the top guys in the league, so I like to be compared to the best, so I can see for myself, and also I can show the judges in the crowd that I can hang with the bigger guys, so to speak. So it'll just do well for me for the future shows, I think.
That's the right attitude to have, my friend. Seriously though, that's the right attitude, Milos. Right?
Absolutely. I mean, Saas, I was talking to Dennis right after prejudging, right? And he was blown away with your look. And
Thank you.
Dennis kind of said, yeah, he could have very easily go your way. And more we look, more we analyze. Yeah, they're definitely. Yeah, Boyac is Boyac. He has that density and, you know,
Yeah.
uh, a respectful old man muscle that is just like, so much other. But you gave him a definite run for the money. If you can better that condition, then this you're gonna put yourself in a category of elite crazy condition guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something that follows you through your career. Everybody knows if SAS is coming, bring your condition. Dennis,
Yeah.
you were saying this in predictions going into the show. You know what SAS brings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was actually the only one from all of us who had him in second place.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And listen, you battled William to the last breath, man, for real.
Sure.
You know what William had on you was a little bit more that fuller muscle look, a little thicker, but you were right for you just standing there. You can see you are the most conditioned guy in the show. You didn't even have to flex a muscle yet. Just from the front, the abs and everything is literally dug out, and it looks unbelievable. I like that look. It's very impressive. And
Thank you.
whoever didn't know who Saas Heirati was, I guarantee you everybody knows right now. So now I think this is a chance for you to get to stand to a top five Olympian, possibly a top three Olympian, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and hold your own, because size is a lot, but size is not everything, especially if you bring that crazy condition. And when I think of you, who comes to mind? Hadi Chupan.
Hmm.
You know
Of
what I'm saying?
course.
He
Yeah.
comes to mind because he wasn't the biggest guy,
No.
but he was so damn conditioned that it just looked like you could not, go past him. And you kind of remind me a little bit of him when he just stands there with the abs and everything. So I'm not saying you're Hadi, but I'm saying
Yeah.
you're on your way to do something great if you
Yeah.
keep on.
I realized early on that I wasn't gonna be the biggest, the fullest, the most dense,
Hmm.
heavily muscled guy on stage. I don't have the structure. I've been gaining size over the years, but I knew my strength was the condition I bring will make me look 5 to 10 pounds bigger on stage. So I
Right.
never really I didn't let the size thing get to me. And being there with Bonac, I knew I was improved from last year. but I didn't know just how much until I got off stage. Prejudging, Bonac came up to me and he said, I think you might have this. And that's when it hit me that,
Wow.
okay, I've got something here. And I went back to the hotel. I looked at pictures and videos, and I started to get really excited to go out there and really battle with Bonac because I admire him. He's one of my idols. So just to be able to have that opportunity to be that close to him just got me so excited, and the passion just came out of me on stage, and I really had a good time doing it. So
And for William to tell you this after prejudging,
Ah,
that shows you his character.
exactly. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Someone
what a
else
totally.
guy.
wouldn't even talk to you. They would see you as
Ah, yeah.
a rival, and they see you as an enemy that needs to be destroyed. He would do everything not to give you no tips or not to motivate you even further. And William, you can see he's a vet. He's a vet. He understands and he recognizes when someone's real.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and for him to tell you that you might have this, that tells you how good you are.
Oh, it blew my mind. I didn't believe it. I laughed. I actually laughed, and I said, "Oh, no chance." And then he said,
It
"Look,
was
either way, it's going to be me and you tonight at the finals."
Right.
flip of a coin. It was really flip of a coin,
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
know, more and more when you analyze.
That's why I was hoping for William also to jump into the Fibo. That would have been, a
Great
good
lineup.
yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't understand why he's not doing it.
Why is
I'm
Mike
not sure.
Creaser not doing it? I mean, it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think we mentioned this back in the day. We competed like so many times, right? And you are there. You should probably be doing all the European shows. You are
Yeah,
2 hours away, right?
yeah. I will do as many as I can. Uh, like I said, I've watched you guys. You were the era that I grew up, and I watched you guys doing multiple shows every year, and I could never. Back before I semi-retired, I didn't quite manage to peak more than once. We didn't quite get that far, but coming back this time, one of my main goals was to just get out there and compete as much as I can, do my job, my dream job, so to speak, get known, and just put on a show because I think it's a shame to get into such a great condition and then not to do as many shows as you can if your body can handle it. And I think the judges like it, the crowds like it. It builds up the excitement. Watching Samson do what he did, getting to where he is, inspired me to kind of try to do the same. So I will 100% try and do as many shows as I can.
I saw you went to train in his gym or you went to his cave.
Yeah, I went to the opening. He
How bad is
invited us.
that place?
Hey,
How bad is that place?
how bad is it? It's a very well equipped. I didn't get to train there.
Oh, you
Um,
didn't train? Oh, you just
No,
you
no, no, no. It was just more like some people train, but I think because I was a week out, it was a 3 hour drive. I didn't want to drive and train, and it would throw me into a bit of a deficit just to travel. So I just went to show my support, see the gym. But it looked like he had a very good setup. He's set it up for his style of training. He does supersets, giant sets. So he's aligned everything to suit his own style of training, which I think is really cool. It's not very big, but I think it's perfect for him in his Olympia prep. And
yeah,
we joked around, and he said we should maybe do the Olympia prep together when I get my qualification. So that would be cool.
yeah. I mean, like it looks like I didn't even know. I never heard of them before. Just maybe like a month ago or a month and a
Yeah,
half ago, I started paying attention to the equipment, and I think they're from
yeah,
Brazil.
yeah,
And they got some good stuff. Milos, did you check that out?
No, no, I haven't seen. Which
Yeah,
company?
what I think it's Cimmerian or something.
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
No.
Yeah, great. All of they came out of nowhere. Boom! All of a sudden,
yeah,
they're everywhere.
yeah, yeah. It
Um,
looked like really good, solid equipment and
I saw
machines
that,
that you don't need to load up with 20 plates aside for it to feel heavy. It's
especially
one of
that
those.
back roll where you kind of like that
Yeah,
hack squat, Milos, that
yeah,
seated hack squat that you can use for
Yeah,
calf raise too.
yeah.
He's got where you have to stand in like this. You literally, there's no stress on your back. You just lean into it, and then you can grab
Those.
the bar overhand, and then you can just roll.
Okay, yeah, yeah. They have it
Man,
here at the Killer Gym. Yeah, I like it. I
you
like it.
should, That shit looked
Yeah,
great.
You know,
yeah.
I remember back in the day with I trained with Lou Ferrino that time, and then the bend over rows that he would do with the dumbbells, he would lean on a wall.
Mhm.
So lean on
All
a
right.
wall, right? So it kind of replicates that
Mm.
position, you know, to save his spine and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you think
That
about
sounds
it,
good.
we used to
But
always
yes,
talk about
you drove for 3 hours each direction.
Yeah, yeah. So 6 hour drive.
I mean, that shows the character that you are in a full contest prep. I mean, that's something. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew if I didn't go, I'd regret it. I think Samson gives a lot back, and just to be able to show my support. And a lot of people said to me there that they said they were shocked that I've showed up. This is one chance we get to do these things and make these memories. So I think if I could make it happen, I was tired, but it was worth it. I'll be glad I did it.
yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. It's
yeah, and
what people don't give a credit to Samson. Like when he was finishing Olympia, and then he would still come to Romania, and he would still go to Prague and say, "What's the point, right?"
mhm.
And the way he said it, I want people from Europe to see Olympia type of physique, you know,
Mm.
to bring this on the stage, you know, because they don't have that opportunity to maybe fly to US and see Olympia contender. You know, and that's why I support you at that level. You're getting into that upper echelon that every promoter, I'm sure that Dennis was delighted seeing you sign
Oh,
up, right?
I was hoping he signed up. I was hoping. I was like, please,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
I was
so
literally
are the
hoping.
other guys, promoters, right?
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean that made the show so much better, And now Andrew jumping in, of course, and nobody knew it until yesterday because I
Yeah,
talked I talked to the Jim a couple of days ago, and he told me that he had trouble getting his visa for Germany.
his visa. Yeah, Chris told me as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
I'm
was the
glad he's
problem.
doing
And
it.
he must have just got it like yesterday or like the day before.
Yeah, I think Chris said Sunday, so 2 days ago he got.
Yeah,
Two
so
days ago he
something,
got it. Yeah,
yeah, because
yeah,
Sunday I still I was talking to Jim, and he still didn't know that he got the visa, and then literally just before the deadline he got this visa and he's in the show, which is awesome. So it's a good
yeah.
move for Andrew. I mean, he needs to qualify. You know,
Definitely.
so
I
why
think
would
the more on stage the better because,
yeah
like Milos said, that the fans, without the fans we don't have anything. So we need to put on a show for them, and we need to show them in person. On the screen, it doesn't really show
Yeah.
the true quality and the size and the dimensions of these guys and their physiques. So to get in front of the crowd and really show them what we have built and why we do what we do, I think that stays with the crowd and the fans forever. So why not try to do it as much as we can?
yeah yeah and so we got Andrew, we got you, Sergio, and then we have Justin
Just
Musio,
yeah,
who's also he got sixth at the Detroit Pro from
he
Germany.
did. He's
I
he's
just
growing fast.
Yes, I mean I just saw him. I literally saw him guest post Saturday
Hmm.
at a show where he won the overall, the regional show where he won the overall like 2 years ago,
Yeah,
and then
that's
turned
great.
pro after that, and now just placed sixth in Detroit and came back to do a guest posting there on Saturday, which yeah, he was impressive. It's a big dude.
Yeah, he we did Spain together last June, and from Spain to Detroit, I think he's
Oh, that
gained
was
some.
his first. That was his first pro show in
His
Spain.
pro debut, yeah. I think he's gained 25 pounds since then, and he's just
Yeah,
completely transformed. He's progressing very fast.
yeah, yeah.
It's
And he's a nice
Czechoslovakian
kid,
guy,
man.
Josef.
Nice, huh?
Josef from Czechoslovakia, Czech.
Oh yeah,
He gets super peeled also. He has the good
What's his name?
Joseph. I forgot the last name. It starts with a K. I'm embarrassed that I don't remember right now. But
Oh,
Joseph, yeah. Uh,
Joseph
to improve the legs,
Queaton.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But he can get in a crazy kind of condition, which Saas. I mean, all of us bodybuilders. respect that crazy conditioning. We all want to be like this, right?
Yeah.
And some
Yes.
people, no matter what they try, they cannot reach that level, right?
I know. Yeah, I know, definitely.
Were you always got, shredded easier?
No, you know what's funny? When I was before I competed, I never saw my abs. Throughout my 20s, I would try and diet down, whether it was for a holiday or just to see how lean I can get. It was never easy for me to get very lean. And growing up, I was always on the chubby side. I was always the chubby kid in the class. I wasn't huge, but I was definitely the chubby kid because I got picked on for it. And I remember my first prep. It was just, I thought it was impossible for me to see any kind of glute striations. I had to kill myself to get in shape. I got fat easy in the off season, but I think progressively over the years, just with the consistency to the lifestyle, staying healthy, growing good quality muscle, I think I've kind of just learned the tune of my body, and now I feel like I can get. It's the opposite. I find it hard to put weight on in the off season. I
Hmm.
have to eat a ton of calories, but then in prep, I'm ready to go 4 weeks out, minimal cardio, and I feel like genetically, I think it was an attribute for me from day one. But I had to dig it out. I had to find the formula that worked with Chris. But now we can really dial it in, and I don't suffer as much as I used to. So it's a little bit easier for me, I know, compared to other guys. So I am lucky in that sense, definitely. But it's taken a while and a lot of work to get here.
But as an Iranian, there is something about Iranian genetics, really.
Yes,
Condition.
Anybody from Iranian, they have that extra hardness.
They're
yeah,
hard workers, though. They got to be
They're
hard
hard
workers.
workers, 100%. There's nobody trains close to intensity of Iranians.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they take it just a little bit more serious than other people.
yeah.
yeah.
They're
That's a bit
passionate. They're
of a
very
big thing.
passionate. Yeah,
Because all the Iranians that we know, I mean, thank God they're not all going to be able to come out because they would take over. But
yeah,
all the Iranians that we
Amazing.
know, they're all conditioned, all of them.
yeah,
Look at Behrouz.
yeah.
Same thing. I mean, he can
Incredible.
get, and he's a big guy. It's not like he's
Yeah.
smaller, and that's why, a lot of people think because they're a little smaller, it's easier for them to get conditioned. Behrouz is a big guy. He must be what, 255, 260 on stage?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. He's 120, 3 kilos.
Yeah, so
Wow.
almost the 270. He's in the 270s.
Well,
So
that's the before dehydration.
yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, let's say 255, 260. That's huge,
yeah.
I mean, and he's really, really conditioned. So now, when do we see him?
Oh, he's doing
Italy. Yeah.
defending both of his titles, Dubai and Italy.
Ah, okay.
He won those two shows, and he's going to defend those titles. Yeah.
Hmm.
What's his status regarding the visa for the U.S.?
Okay, I don't know how much I can. So they
So
expedited
much.
the
You can say
application,
whatever you know.
and it should be no April 18 is the deadline to get the answer, which is
Ah,
like
okay.
around the corner.
What do you mean deadline?
So they apply and then they send the expedited application that they have
Uh,
to respond by
or
April.
they have to respond. The department have to respond by the 18th.
So it's probably like we are a week away from
Yeah.
some hopefully good news.
Hopefully.
So let's say they're going to tell him yes. Is he still going to do Dubai in Italy?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And what about September?
I mean, listen, first he has to qualify for Olympia. He did qualify 3 years in a row, but
Oh,
right
right.
now
He's not qualified. I thought he was qualified, but he didn't do the shows last year at the end of the year.
no, no,
Right,
no,
right. Yeah, you missed out. Yeah.
yeah. And,
Well, I have a show on September 3rd, 14th is the last qualifier for this year.
you know
In
what?
Germany.
Let's hope he's not going to need to do it this Saturday. But you never know who's going to show up. It's so
Exactly.
competitive nowadays, right?
Yeah,
That, anybody can show up and mess up the plans. I heard that maybe Martin is doing Dubai, and some other guys, at that level. So when you're top four Olympia doing the show, you have to take everybody seriously. I mean, Saas is
But
a very serious contender.
I was just about to say, I mean, Sass and Behrouz
Yeah,
both, I
yeah.
think that,
I mean, listen, when Saas was competing with Behrouz, I knew what we were going up against. And
uh,
yeah, you know.
yeah, Behrouz is incredible. Seeing him in person, he has a lot of muscle mass. He has the muscle that just falls off the bone. He has the small waist, and it was just really cool, really inspiring for me to see him last June because that was when I decided to put on a bit more muscle and really try to get serious about getting to the Olympia. And seeing his rear development, really pushed me to train hard. So
mm,
I told him as well in person. So it was incredible to see him.
I'm
yeah.
so happy about
What's even more incredible, I think, is that even though he's been qualified for 2 or 3 years for the
it.
Olympia, never got the visa, that he stays focused and motivated. Where I would probably say, "Fuck it already." You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. A lot of
That's
people would.
that's the part that impressed me the most because he stays focused and he just keeps trying. And Hadi was the same. He didn't get in the first year or two.
Yeah,
No,
And once you get it for the first time, it's all gravy from here because once you registered and you returned and everything in time, you didn't overstay. You shouldn't have the problems that you had in the beginning to get a new visa. So it's a
yeah,
lot easier.
so
Let's hope it stays that way because I don't know what's going on with the stupid politics between
yeah,
Iran and the U.S. I don't know if that can mess things up. I don't know. I hope not. But you never
yeah.
know. You know,
I hope not. Definitely.
but
when
you
you
have a UK passport, right?
I have a UK. Yeah, I came here when I was 6. My
yeah,
dad
you
brought us
don't
all
even
here.
sound
So
like you from Iran. You sound like you UK straight.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't know any English when we came, but I picked it up very quickly, as you do when you're a kid.
Right.
And yeah, I've only been back once in 2002 to visit family, but I feel lucky. I feel lucky because I look at guys like Behrouz and Hadi and the struggles they've had to go through to
Yeah.
be able to
Yeah.
do what they do now, and Behrouz is still having to struggle. So I do feel very grateful for what my mum and dad did for me to bring me here.
I had some questions that I would like to ask you regarding this, but no, not to ask you because this is nothing that we should talk about here publicly because that can hurt some people, and you know what I mean. It's
Okay,
like, yeah, I don't want to go into any details when it comes to struggles and so on and so forth. You know what
awesome.
I'm.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. And when are you flying into Germany?
Tomorrow night, so literally in 24 hours,
Yeah,
I get on the
I'm,
flight
I'm driving in tomorrow. Tomorrow after probably around 11. I'll leave because we got to set up for the registration on Thursday.
Thursday.
But
Yeah.
you know where the registration will be.
I've got it all in the email, so when I get there, I'm gonna Google everything.
The
There's
e-
Ubers everywhere, so
right. There at the it's literally at the Fibo. So it's like you go in from
okay,
shit, is it east or north? East. I think it's entrance east. It's right
okay,
on the road. And when you go in, before you literally go up to the Fibo, the booth space, there's a little. I mean, it's a bigger room. It's called Offenbach Saal.
okay.
This is the registration. I hope we will have signs for the athletes to
Yeah,
see. So we have
thank
the
you. I'll
picture.
remember that. I'm traveling with Alex Kent, who's doing the classic. He's
Okay,
the
speaking too. So that's good.
he's
Yeah,
yeah he's very good, promising physique. He's just done 2 shows. He
yeah.
placed fourth in Detroit, so yeah, he's good with that kind of thing. So I'm sure he'll find it as well.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Do
So it's
you
going to be an
train?
exciting show, huh?
Do you still train Thursday, Friday?
I did last week. I went right up to show day. I didn't train on show day. I trained Thursday, Friday, I will do like I do 2 or 3 sets on hamstrings, 2 or 3 sets on calves, and then the same on back, delts, and chest. So nothing crazy, but just to push the blood and the food and the fluid around. I seem to just hold better pop and fullness if I just continue a little bit of training. If I stop, I just feel like I flatten out a bit because I get so dry. I feel like the training just holds me that much fuller.
So you're normally drier person, right?
Yeah.
Without even trying, which is interesting. Look at his face. He doesn't have a face, right?
No.
Doesn't have that sucked up, kind of like Jay Cutler. When you look at Jay Cutler, press conference, like, okay, he's off. And then he
Yeah.
Oh,
takes
Kai Green, Kai Green,
really?
Kai Green also had a little fuller face and
Yeah.
still wasn't fit.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
if you look at Saas right now, would you think he's, bone dry?
yeah, but look at him the day of the show.
I
It's a
know,
different
I know, I
Yeah.
look. It's a
Yeah.
different.
That's my chubby genes. It's my chubby genes. But yeah. I tend to stay. I tend to dry really easy, very very easy.
Yeah.
But I stay full with it. So it's quite. I don't want to say easy to peak me, but Chris can go a little bit more aggressive, knowing that I tend to usually stay full. I get harder, and I just get harder and drier.
Okay.
So it's yeah.
So are you thinking about Pittsburgh too?
I was initially thinking about Pittsburgh. I'm going to see how I feel after Fibo. I definitely want to do Spain and Portugal. Uh, if I can throw Pittsburgh in as well, I don't mind. I don't mind doing that. I'll speak to my sponsors. So we'll see. There's no show that's out of the question for me right
Mm.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
because
you never did that many shows back to back, right? So you don't have that experience yet.
Yeah. So we're taking it show by show. See how my body's holding. See how I'm responding at every peak. But so far, peak week number 2, everything is going really well. So I'm going to see how I feel after Fibo, and evaluate and reevaluate.
Okay, so let's just touch the subject of Brazilian show that just happened.
Okay.
How would you see yourself in it?
With good veto, I I don't
Yeah,
know. I feel like I'm a totally different kind of physique to them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're like blasting round lats and quads, and um, I don't know. I think there's a place for me in there with my conditioning,
Yeah. Your
but
conditioning way out condition anybody there on stage. Yeah.
do you
I think
guys think?
like. Go on.
Go
Sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
I Chris just always said to me, look, if you get razor sharp conditioning, you could usually hold your own in most lineups, as long as you're not small. Um, but I've got just enough size, I think, to not get lost in the shuffle. So I
Right.
pretty much have confidence to stand with anyone. Um, Maybe not win every show, but I feel like I'm good enough to not look stupidly out of place.
You're super competitive everywhere. This is why I'm asking. Of course, it's kind of tricky to ask you, do you think that you could have won? I actually think that you could have won with the Detroit condition because I don't think that as good as Vito is, I think his condition was equal to last year's Brazil when he lost to Tonio Burton.
Yep.
It's still that freak and wit and crazy legs and all that stuff. But somebody like you would probably expose that with a granite hard conditioning. He didn't have anything happening like, let's say, Derek Lansford doesn't have that hardness,
Hmm.
chest, shoulders, arms, and you have that. And that's very visible in many poses. Even though he's a freak, Chris works with him, so I'm sure he's going to dial him in for Pittsburgh. But that's what I was going to say. I didn't expect you to be here today. I was going to ask Dennis what he thinks if Saas from Detroit could have won that show. What do you
I
think?
I think that first of all, I think the lightning was bad.
Yeah.
They all looked like they were off, but I guess it was the light because it was too dark, you know. And then when I saw Good Vito, and I was excited because it was Saturday. I was at the show here, and I had my little phone there, and I was live on the Muscle Contest YouTube. And then I was almost a little disappointed from what I saw, but then I figured out that it was the lighting, you know. But I also believe that he must maybe a victim of posting too many great fucking pictures on
Hmm.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Some of them shots that he had to be in were fully pumped, you know, you know, and if you expect that on stage, then you can be like, you know, wait a minute, he's coming up a little short. He had no competition.
Yeah.
That was a walk in the park for
Yeah.
him. You know, there was nobody even close. This guy, I don't even know. I can't even tell you who got second, third, or fourth. I didn't even go that far. But I guess the other big guy that was actually just as big as him, maybe even a little bigger, he probably got second. But
Yeah.
it wasn't even close when it comes to conditions. So I think that yeah, if he dials it in, if he can come in looking like he did in the pictures,
Mhm.
I think that it's going to be very interesting in Pittsburgh, and I think that he will have a battle with Chriso. See, both of these guys, they will go, you know, toe to toe for possibly 4 and 5. That's just my opinion right now. I can be shocked that Chriso can walk on that stage and completely transform from his last look,
Yeah.
which I'm not sure if this happens, and then shockers all and plays higher. But I think with Derek, Nick, and Martin all doing the show, it's going to be very hard for anybody to move into the top three.
Yeah. Agree.
And if somebody moves into the top three, that's good for him because it's going to help him at the Olympia. You
Yeah.
know, to beat one of these. Well, you know, even Nick is a top three Olympian. It was a couple of years ago, but he was in the top three. So you know, it's going to be a dogfight, and I think that Good Vito will match very well with those guys because he's got freaky body parts. His quads is fucking crazy.
Yeah. He's a freak.
Also, he's his feet. I don't know why. Chris put me on that. He's got the widest feet I've ever seen on a man.
Duck feet.
Yeah,
Feet, yeah.
he's impressive. He's impressive. You know, he's got some
Hey,
great shots. You know, and yeah, Chris dials him in. So Chris works with you. He works
Yes.
with Andrew. He works, yeah. Yeah, it's almost like Stefan, you know, work with a whole bunch of people and you got to motivate each and every one of them.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
got to
Yeah.
tell each
Definitely.
every one of them you're going to win. You know,
Uh,
it's the hard part. Yeah,
Chris is a man of very few words, and
yeah, yeah. I hear that all the time. Did you
yeah.
guys see the lineup for the Masters? That's the official lineup.
Yeah, it's in
The
yesterday.
official invites.
You might say.
I know one person in that lineup. One single person, and that's Walter Martin. That's it.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't single other. I don't know who those guys are. I was totally new people to me.
Yeah, what do you mean? But there was, from uh, um, Max Charles is there, right?
I didn't see him.
Oh, Max
All
Charles.
right.
Yeah.
Did you see that's additional list? So,
I just told you. I just saw the invites, the people that got invited, and I don't
Uh,
know. I know one person.
okay, let me see. On
Wasn't
ibbpro.com, there's a list. Okay,
who?
ibbpro.com,
Uh-huh.
and shit.
Just read it. Read it real quick,
Uh, so, one
and tell
second.
me how many you know.
Kamal Okay, Max, Phil Klahar, Fred Smalls, Kenneth Jackson, Brian Garrison, Christopher Sullivan, Slavoj Bednar, Brandon Hatton, um, Michael Ellie, Ray Short, Vladimir Agrinsky. Then additional athletes, what you heard is probably the list that you don't know nobody from here, yeah, except
Just
Walter.
one person.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. And
Yeah, and then I because Ronnie Raquel told me a while ago that he wanted to do the Masters, and
he's
I
not
said,
on the list.
no, he's not on the list. He didn't make the cut, and I'll tell you why. Because because he put in the application, and he was a former top six Olympian.
Yeah,
And of course, when he called me and talked about it, I was under the impression that he has his IFBB pro status, or he
Oh,
applied for his pro status, you know. So when the list came out, he sent me a message saying, like, I guess that's it. And then I was like, I don't know a single person on there, and I don't get why wouldn't he get the invite, So I asked, and it was like, yeah, because he was an active IFBB pro before he retired, and he went and competed at NAC Federation. So
uh,
at that point, as an IFBB professional, if you move into another federation, you lose your IFBB pro status.
yeah,
uh,
So now, unless you get reinstated, you are, so to speak, suspended.
yeah.
And I asked him after that, I said, why didn't you get the pro card at your pro card first? He thought he was going to do it after he gets the invite. I was like, there's no invite because the list has to be approved by the IFBB Pro League to make sure all these guys are active members. If you're not active, you can't be on that list.
Of course.
And that was the thing. And I didn't even know that he competed somewhere else.
yeah. I
You
saw him
know,
in China.
and then he told me about that. He told me that he went to China because they offered $50,000, and then you were there where you were working with a guy, and he said something like, "This guy won, and you sitting you were a judge."
No, they put me as a judge. I refused to judge.
And
They,
he said you were sitting at the judge's table judging.
yeah. I mean, that's where they put me. I mean, because but I didn't want to judge. Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's a, it's a story I got today that Milos judged his own guy and made him win $50,000. So yeah, so that's unfortunate for him, but I mean,
My guy won
that's what I'm saying. He won, I'm not judging, but here,
over top six Olympian. Yeah, yeah.
Ronnie had a great physique.
Yeah.
He he got hard and full.
yeah, he was getting ready this whole time now.
Ah,
Now he just found out that he's not on the list. I said, hey
that's a
man,
shame. That's a
Hey,
you
shame.
he can change it. He
huh?
can change it, apply.
He
You
would
know.
have to he would have to ask for an IFBB Pro card.
So how hard is to ask for that and then pay for
How
it?
hard is it if you are with another federation? That's going to be very hard.
It's
Yeah,
2018.
I'm just telling you, it's going to be hard, but
And,
you have to
Ronnie,
apply.
if you're listening, apply. It's
Yeah.
never, bad idea to ask.
I mean, Lee Priest got a pro card, so why should we,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, when Ronnie beat Lee in Australia, that was the biggest shock for me because Lee looked really good and they still gave it to Australian judges, gave it to Ronnie Raquel. Yeah. That's one of those things that
He must have pissed one of them judges off.
Yeah, that sounds like Lee.
It sounds like something Lee he could put together to piss
Yeah,
off his own judges.
def- definitely, definitely.
Yeah. No, I mean, he got a pro card. So I called him, I said, why didn't you just apply for the pro card first?
yeah.
You got to be an active member. And especially you heard the new rules that came out a couple of months ago where they say if you're not active for 3 years, you lose your status. You don't even have to go with another federation.
Yeah. What happened with Brandon Curry and Kai Green doing the Masters?
Who Kai Greene never said he was going to do the Masters.
He was, announcing and yeah. Hey,
Man,
Brandon Curry told me and Jay Cutler at the airport. We were talking. This is the
uh,
next, which I thought would be great. Shit.
I guess
And
not.
then,
I guess he's got the motivation back, and I guess he's going for the Olympia and not
yeah, yeah, yeah. The
not
real
not
Olympic.
blowing all his bullets out in Japan.
Yeah.
Yes, he should. Yes, he should.
Because
That
after
was good
after
branding.
his showing at the Arnold, I don't I'm with him. I
Yeah.
mean, that was a good Brandon, man. That was a really good Brandon. Just like it was a good William in Detroit. So you literally just barely lost to a really, really good William Bonac. I mean, this was not the William we saw the last couple of years. This was a William that was really good. His legs were back. I mean, he
Yeah.
was,
No,
man,
when I saw him in Spain last summer, that was not. And then when I saw him in Detroit in the changing rooms take his clothes off, I just thought, wow, that's the
yeah,
William Bonac that I'm used to seeing. He was
yeah.
big, like he was very big, very full, very round. Um, yeah, it was exciting to see.
So you saw the difference from Spain, which he
Oh
won,
yeah,
to this one.
oh yeah. Spain, I felt like he was 10 pounds bigger here in Detroit.
You know,
He was, he
I
was
posted on
definitely,
Instagram. Did you see Dennis? 2019,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and pose by pose, I would give this William. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I took out the front double biceps because in front double biceps he didn't look as good as he did before.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I said, I don't want to. You know how people are? They're going to see 8 poses, and then they're going to
Oh,
pick.
so you didn't even give him everything? You just gave him a good
I
one?
I
Oh,
selectively dropped
cheating.
one.
Oh, that's called cheating, man. That's called oh no, you had to,
Misleading.
gotta,
Uh,
you're misleading
no, because I
everybody.
know exactly how people are thinking, right? And they're
Stage,
gonna, yeah. You can have a 10 great things and people are not to say anything about it. You can have one bad thing and they're all talking about that one bad thing.
Yeah,
Come on.
so that's why
yeah.
you leave it.
Yeah, shit. I learned my lesson after a while. So same thing, like not because Sass, you really impressed the hell out of us both. Then you say, and I was considering like, okay, maybe I would also, if I was judge, maybe I would give it to you. And it was going back and forth. And I don't know if you're maybe sentimentally connected with the 40-something-year-old William that might be going away, right? To have that bias. I always want to say that I'm not biased, and I stick to it. I just read what I see it. You still like from a back, he would beat you.
Yeah.
Lateral biceps, especially convincingly. Back last spread, you were more competitive, but I think he still beats you. Side shots, you guys both have a great side shots, and that's apple and oranges. I like the way you hit your side triceps,
Yeah.
but that's Bonyak's also super strong side chest pose. Holy hell! Did you see how much more thicker he is now? The
Oh yeah.
2000. Holy
Yeah,
hell!
I was watching the videos I got sent from prejudging, and all I kept looking at and thinking was the amount of thickness he had from the side. Even his legs from the back, they just look so wide and thick. And
They were
usually
much,
my legs can stand up with the best of them. But
Yes, yes.
yeah.
yeah, he was super impressive, Bonac.
I mean, I walked away from prejudging that day, and I said it can go either way. I said I
Mhm.
wasn't sure. I
Yeah,
was, it can go either way. It was close. Even though he might have ended up, did he end up with perfect score?
yeah,
Yeah, he
But
got perfect score.
that doesn't mean that everybody had him winning. You
yeah.
know,
It could be on all score sheets. It's just like flip of a coin.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
yeah. It's not a perfect score. It's not even close. It could be super super close. Another question: what do you think of Sass of Derek beating Samson at Arnold Classic?
Um, so obviously I love Samson both as a friend and and a bodybuilder. I just think Samson's conditioning was a little bit too much. Derek's conditioning was a little bit too much for Samson. there was too many shots where pose for pose, my eyes just went to Derek's detail, separation. I think he just looked polished. So I think Samson, in a way, he left the door a little bit open. Um, Even though I do prefer Samson's shape and overall structure and size. I love the way his physique flows, but I could see why Derek took the win. I think he was full and dry and big enough to throw Samson off. I think preference. I do prefer Samson's physique, but you can't ignore that conditioning, like you've mentioned before. It's too overpowering when they're posing.
And you're a conditioning guy, right? So that's what you said. You're just going to be big enough and you're going to be polished. You're going to attract the attention with all this dry, fibrotic
Yeah,
condition. Okay? How much you weigh? Not that it matters. Not that
yeah.
it, but I'm just curious. How much you weigh?
So right now I'm 248, pretty much where I sit before we pull the water. So I'm 248, and on stage, I'm guessing I'll be about 242, 243 on Saturday. That's the way it worked out in Detroit. So Chris keeps me between 248 and 251, um, and then he'll pull me down from today tomorrow. We'll start to dry out.
You're at
And
240.
it is the heaviest I've ever been.
Okay.
I've never competed over 230 before this.
Are you 248 today?
248 right now, yeah.
So you think you're going to be 242 on stage?
Yeah, going off Detroit, I think 242. I could probably get on stage at 248, but that extra sharp, crisp, I think we need to take a few pounds out. Um,
I'm surprised how you can only lose a couple of pounds of water because when I get to the water, yeah, it's going to be some more than 4, 5, six
Yeah,
pounds.
yeah,
It's going to be anywhere from 8 to 15.
yeah.
yeah,
You know.
More
yeah,
realistic.
Chris.
But
But
if you're
how tall?
dry,
How tall are you? You about 5'6", 5'7"?
Oh, I'm 5'9". I'm 5'9".
You're five.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
honestly, I'm 5'9".
Are
and
you
then
serious? Is he 5'9"?
well,
Yeah,
Are you really 5'9"?
honestly.
Because you look like you're about.
hey,
Well,
if it's
hold
Nick Walker, I would say 5'2", but you know.
No, but Sass, are you really 5'9"?
Yeah,
What?
honestly, yeah.
How much are you in centimeters?
I'm 176 centimeters.
So you actually tall.
Actually, even more. No, 176 is more because I was
Uh,
179.
No, what I think more 5'9" is like 174 or 175.
yeah, sorry, 173, not 176. I'm
Yeah, if you're
173.
173, then you're 5'8".
Okay, 5'8".
Yeah, because you didn't look
Uh,
right next to William. Because William is what, about 5'6"?
yeah, he's short. He's shorter, definitely.
Yeah. So it looked like you're not much taller than him. So
Yeah.
five would have been 5'9". Shit, you taller than me.
Huh?
Am I really?
Yeah,
Are
you
you?
guys
Are you?
take a picture together, back to back. I want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
used to be. I used to be 5'9", and I don't know what happened, man.
Yeah.
Maybe I've come down quite a bit. Maybe I've
Yeah.
lost
Hey, listen, if you squat a lot, you're gonna shrink.
Yeah. No, I
I
don't
said
squat
I
that much
squatted
anymore.
myself down to 5'8".
Okay,
Yeah.
Saas, what you contribute your crazy legs in your career? Like, what do you think exercise that brought the most mass and thickness and quality?
For me personally, I would have to say high volume leg press work, leg press and hacks, leg press and hacks. I would say really blew out my quads, gave them a different direction, different dimension. Yeah.
I'm going back and forth with a few guys, and Nick Walker said that yeah, he preferred leg press over hacks. Hacks. And I said, there's no way on earth. For me, a leg press is make believe hardcore exercise.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, you have to squat in a certain way, either freeway squats or hack squat or some kind of squat. Leg press is much shorter range of motion
Yeah.
and easier and distribute everywhere, and so uh,
No, no, I do attribute a lot of the development to squats, but I stopped squatting just just through injury and lower back pain and knee pain. So I tended to go towards leg press and hacks a lot more
Mm,
over the last 5 years or so. But I did build a lot of muscle doing squats,
okay.
definitely.
All right. It was the wrong answer.
There's nothing. My training is I love. I do everything I can. Like I don't have a specific style. I don't have set exercises. I like to use as much as I can, um, a variety, I guess, so to speak.
Do you go heavy and light because you're English? Dorian is there. JP is your sponsor. I mean, you usually go heavy duty.
No, no, I have in the past, and there might be periods through the off, well, periods through my seasons I will lower the volume and try and go heavier, but majority of my journey, career, has been more higher volume, higher pace. I definitely don't go as heavy as someone like Jordan or Dorian. I just don't. I don't feel like I get enough from just focusing on one or two all-out sets.
Mm.
I like the accumulative volume. I like the pump. That's how I've always trained, and it's how I enjoy it as well. So,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
good work for you. Why wouldn't you do it, you know?
yeah, definitely. And it's longevity for me. When I drop my volume to go heavy, I can get strong, but then I just I hurt something. I'm nearly 40, so I need to kind of think about I want to do this for a few more years. So I need to make sure my joints aren't getting trashed every time I step in the gym.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
What's your ultimate goal?
My ultimate goal is to step onto the Olympia stage. Um,
Ultimate goal, the Olympia stage only, or top six or top 10? Everybody has a little more than an ultimate goal. Like this is a little extra that you put on
yeah.
top that you're trying to achieve.
Before I stopped in 2018, my goal was top six.
Yeah.
Um, but because I spent so long away from the stage, that goal kind of gets a bit. You question it. Am I going to be good enough again? Am I going to?
I remember we talked about this on either last week or the week before that because somebody mentioned that you had a long hiatus. You were gone
Yeah,
for 10 years. And I said
yeah,
that's probably good for him.
yeah,
That's why you are, even though you are closer to 40, but you don't have that high mileage body right now that is close to 40. So your body is probably fresh and you can probably go 5 more years and improve. It's not like what bodybuilding used to be where you get to your mid 30s, you're almost at the end and your body
mm,
stops responding because most of these guys started in their early teens. So, but
yeah,
sometimes people start late or take a big break in between where the body just goes back to neutral, and then you start it again, and muscle memory is a real thing. We all know that, and
yeah.
therefore you are fresher, and that's why you feel great. That's why you feel like you can do all these shows because you're not worn out.
No, I agree. That's exactly how I feel right now. 100%.
Yeah, and that's why you should be in them on them stages, and should be getting that making that money.
Mm.
That's
Oh,
what
I
it's all
will.
about. At the end of
I
the
will.
day, we have sponsors, but we need to make some money and put some money away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. I've got two kids I
Oh,
need to
you
look after.
dad too. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I've got the motivation. I've got the reasons. I've got the health. And I've found what works for my
Yeah.
body in the off season and in prep. So I'm ready to. I'm here to stay for a while.
That's awesome. I mean, listen, I appreciate your time. I know I asked you for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Now
Oh, it's been,
I stretched that out to an hour. I
no, no.
apologize.
Honestly, it's fine. It's fine. I'm grateful that you reached out.
Yes.
I've been a fan of yours and Milos's from the late '90s when I got into it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and to be able to just come here and chat to you, as well as you giving me a platform,
I would
I'm very
love to
grateful.
have
So I
you
wasn't
back.
going to miss out on the opportunity.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
would love to have you back after the shows, just to see how you feel and maybe celebrate something. Who knows? I would, I really hope that you are qualified for the Olympia because I think that to have guys like you on the Olympia stage will help the overall look when it comes to condition because I would
Yep.
love to see an Olympia again where the top 10 are really going for condition. And, can really say this was so close, it could have went so many ways, and that's the Olympia that we used to back in the days where the top 10 could literally anybody in the top 10 could walk away with the win, so, to make it a little bit more interesting.
Well,
And
those are the Olympias I watched and admired. And when I went pro, I always said that my look, the look that I would love, is that '90s shape, fullness, and the condition. And it was a healthy look. It was the look that I just admired, and I'd love to kind of just bring that back to the stage
yeah,
in the best way I can.
You're
yeah, and
bringing
that's awesome.
you're
Uh,
bringing it, yes.
yeah, Milos appreciates it. He appreciates it, So I'm gonna let you go. You probably have to get a meal and get ready for tomorrow for your
Yeah,
trip.
thank
I
you
will
very
see
much.
I will see you in Cologne at the
Of
check-in.
course, yeah.
Hey, brother,
I'll see you
all the
Thursday.
best
Thank you
and
so
God
much.
bless, my
Like
friend.
Saas.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Milas. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
So, what do you think about the Fibo, man? So last week it was a Sergio and Sass show.
Yeah.
Now it kind of Andrew kind of messed that up for all of them.
I mean, listen, I'm a huge fan of Andrew. It's it's kind of hard to believe that he can lose the show, right? He would have to be very much off
Yeah,
for that, and I don't think he can be that much off anyway. His pro debut when he was in that Houston first year, and when they were talking about he was like 70%, that 70% would be top five at Olympia, right?
right.
Yeah. So Sergio, we had him last week. I don't know. We didn't talk about it. He didn't look too confident to me. I mean,
Yeah,
for a love of God, if you say that you can't wait to step back on stage, but then you're just going to compete in one show, it doesn't make sense. Now I'm sure that he's holding 17 pounds more water since yesterday when I mean I would. Yeah.
I think it's yeah. He didn't sound too confident. He sounded more like it's almost like he's almost just happy just to get back on stage. And I know Sergio is nobody likes to lose. I know he went into the show and he's still going to the show to win the show. He wants to qualify for the Olympia. And yeah, I mean it's gonna be hard with Andrew in the mix now. I mean that's just the way it's gonna be. Is it possible? It's still possible. Andrew can come in off, and but even Andrew slightly off, I think is still so good that that's it's gonna be hard for any of these guys to beat him. And I think that Sass is very dangerous for Sergio. If Sergio is not on,
You know how when we were talking about Sass, I knew that crazy conditioning that he's bringing, but then last year Spain, when he competed against Behrouz, and he kind of didn't really deliver what I was expecting, kind of. So I
Mhm.
didn't expect much. But now, since you told me, go on online, and as soon as I saw what Sass looked like, holy hell! So I love that conditioning, that fullness, the roundness. Holy shit! Three track legs. It's hard to even say that he was in better condition than Bonac because Bonac is always so super dense and super hard, right? But there is,
he just looked sharper.
yeah, yeah. So he
You know?
was, yeah, that kind of
Looked
condition.
sharper. And usually William is the one, and William was on. It's not like he was off. It's
Big,
just like it looked like maybe it was the color because he's not as dark as William. Because the darker you are, the harder it is sometimes to see the little details.
yeah, yeah.
And for him, it was just the perfect color. I mean, his abs, everything was. It was just. I was jealous. I
Yeah,
was. I
I
want to
love
meet
that.
like
So
this or
this
something.
is going to be top three, back and forth, back and forth. Who is judging?
Tyler, head
Tyler?
judge.
Oh, that's going to be good.
He's
So,
coming in tomorrow. He's head judging both the amateurs and the pros. So
I mean, like, I think that Sergio is delivering good package, even though
mhm.
he whatever
But he
he.
has to bring it to the stage. That's the problem. That's the hardest part. Now, he mentioned a couple of things that worry me just a little bit because he's going by himself. He's never been by himself, I guess.
I heard that he went with Stanimal.
Huh?
Stanimal?
Oh, I don't know. He said that he's going by himself for the first time.
Oh, I heard from Regan. I don't know. Regan
He said
trains
on the
with,
podcast. You don't remember him saying that on the podcast? This is going to
yeah,
be the first time where he's going to be by himself. So this is
yeah.
new.
His girl is not going, but then maybe because Regan trains with the Sergio, and he mentioned something. Stan went with him. Like, oh, good.
Oh, okay, well, listen, I hope everybody's on so they can have a battle because that's what we need in Germany. We need a battle for the crowd to go crazy.
I love Sergio at the Arnold Classic. That when he won best
That's
poser
both-
award. But I
Is
think
that
it was,
two or 3 years ago?
yeah, that was a good Sergio.
2 years or 3 years?
3 or 4. Shit.
That long?
Yeah, that long. Yeah. But Sergio on Reno show or in California show, he didn't deliver. Now it's still Sergio Oliva, right? When you have that crazy shoulders and crazy shoulder, the width and thick delts and arms, and then he has a crazy V taper. I mean, I remember back double biceps before I was very impressed. Now he was saying something about his back is not back to normal, but his legs are bigger. So I just hope that Stefan is going to pull some miracle in order to get him drier and fuller. Stefan goes with a full look, right? So think about it. Sergio has a structure and muscle that if he's full, he can create illusion of a crazy size. Holy thing.
Yeah, and then he can stand next to Andrew.
Yeah, yeah,
And Andrew is just this much higher, this much taller than Sergio. So Sergio's a tall guy too.
yeah. But then what you do? Saas is going peeled out of his mind. So
Oh, they better be on or they're going to look smooth. Yeah, he's going to make people look smooth if they're not on.
yeah, yeah.
That's the thing. And this is like in Hadi. Hadi is doing the same thing. I don't care how big these guys are. I'm going to be so damn peeled that they got to be on. They can't be off.
I have to find some pictures and send it to you because Hadi 2016 in Dubai as an amateur, he won light heavyweight 198.
Mhm.
Okay, against my guy Reza Zinatlu. He was third, and then he was 198, and he stood right next to Raleigh Winkler, and Raleigh beat him, but you could not see something that you were telling me before. You can see Samson and Hadi like
50
60,
pounds.
70, 80 pound difference, right?
Yeah. They even more than 50. Yeah, 70.
Yeah. So I mean, Saas, I think he's gonna bring Hadi Chapman conditioning in this
All
one.
right, let's break down the top 5 real quick. Come on.
On this one,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Andrew should win easily. Yeah, because Andrew is Andrew. Andrew can be Mr. Olympia if everything falls perfectly, right? His leg stays. He doesn't flatten them out and
He might, he might come to the Fibo and it's exactly what we was looking for, and that will create enough hype for all the way to October.
yeah. Maybe because yeah, there's
Maybe,
less pressure.
maybe he doesn't have as much pressure. Yes, maybe he
Yeah.
can be relaxed.
I mean, Sass is working with Chris, and Chris is talking to both of them, right? So they know exactly what's up.
Yeah,
Uh,
but like I said, Chris is not a man of a lot of words.
He's
No, it's not like that's
a
not.
man of a funny words. Everything he says is fucking funny. Really.
You diet down, train hard, and supplement smart for months. When the time comes to step on stage, don't leave your tan to chance. Go with the pros. Pro Tan. #1 worldwide since 1987 and the official sponsor of the Olympia for the last 15 years. Don't step on stage without it. Pro 10.
I wonder if Chris is going.
I don't think so. I doubt, it would be maybe good.
You think you don't think
So
he's going?
so now Saas and Sergio. Sergio has a structure over Saas, but I think that Saas is going to be in crazy condition, and probably is going to take over. Yeah,
I feel the same.
yeah.
Saas is going to bring it, and I feel Sergio's just got this. He just said a few things that kind of, that didn't sound too motivating for me. For me to put it. Maybe he's just because he wants to take it easy and he doesn't want to put pressure on himself, and he just wants to go with the flow. I mean, I told him, he said, "This is the best I've seen him look so far, leading up to a show." So, but the problem is not looking great a couple of weeks out and in pictures. The problem is, what are you going to look like when you step on stage, when the nerves kick in, and when
Yeah,
and all that. So,
I
and
think
then he was worried about working with Stefan for the first show, so he didn't sound too confident there either. That was a little bit that gives me a little bit of thing that they're not quite sure if they can put it together. So I will give it to Sass in second. I will give Sergio third. I would give I would listen. There's two German guys that I know. There's Justin, and then there's another one. His name is Dennis Friedrich, who won my show in Frankfurt. He turned pro 2 years ago.
yeah.
So he's coming out to do it. So I don't know, because he was a big guy then. So I'm sure he's a much bigger guy now. So and he's also a little bit on the taller side, probably around 6 foot, maybe 6'1", great shape. So I don't know what he looks like, but he's on the list. So I wouldn't be surprised if he come out. These Germans, some of these Germans, they have size. They have the size.
And they can have a condition, and it's showing
Yeah,
Germany, and
yeah.
Germans want to prove who is best German guy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Amir started it. He started it by saying he wants everybody to come to the show so they can find and then bring $10,000 or something, and then we'll see who places who wins the money. And then Amir's the one not doing the show.
I didn't talk to him. I don't know why. You know,
He's probably taking some time off.
he
You
actually
know.
supposed to come January to Las Vegas.
Uh,
Yeah, I remember last time talking, but he never called me.
yeah,
So
but that challenge was towards Justin, from what I just found out. So now Justin is coming. He's coming to the Fibo, and he's like, "Where's Amir?" You
what
know.
bothers me really is that Krizo is not doing it. Really, you see, I don't have a relationship with Michael Krizo, right? I just love the guy, right? And then we are bodybuilding fans. You saw the pictures. He's peeled out of his mind.
Yeah, but we only saw a couple of shots. We didn't see the legs. Did you see the legs?
Yeah. There was yeah.
You saw the legs?
I didn't see the back. I didn't
Well,
see the back, but
that was his weak part.
yeah, that was his weak part. Yeah.
No ass. How can a man with such legs have no ass? That's what I want to know. How you walk around with zero ass? Negative. What you sitting on? What are you sitting on? You're sitting straight on your lower back, man. There's no legs and lower back. There's nothing in between. Yeah, that's his thing. He needs to, yeah, I think he needs to. I can't believe I'm ever saying this about a man. I said, you need to build up some glutes.
Yeah, he has to stick the
Because
ass up.
in his back pose, we at a time right now when people turn around, we want to see some glutes. Even though we shouldn't want, there's,
Like I talk about William Bonyak's ass.
well,
He has a
William got
really
enough
long
ass
ass.
for him and Crizo together.
Yeah. Yeah.
True, true. Yeah, but it's just when you see that, you can literally say, and anybody, you can ask anybody, says, listen, he needs some more ass.
Yeah. It's,
Got them arms and them shoulders, and his shoulder looked like it's never had an issue, right?
shoulders, arms, chest, that's ridiculous. The side chest that he posts, but just that the arm and the tie-ins and everything, like, holy hell, you know? So arms down, it's crazy. But then he lifts arms in front of biceps. I swear in a gym, Dragon's Lair, in Flex Lewis's office. It was literally like a Photoshop in front of me. I'm looking at this. That's not even real. Like frontal biceps, arms, freaky. The only guy that compares to him is Nick Walker. Nick Walker's arms in front of biceps are possibly the freakiest of all.
Hmm.
You know, which when we talk about Nick and then frontal biceps, and I don't give him frontal biceps on the basis of balance, upper body, lower body. But if you look at the upper body,
Yeah.
who comes close?
Nick is the kind of Nick is, he doesn't impress me as much no more in his pictures that he posts, but he always impressed me when he stepped on stage. So this guy is the exact opposite from what I always complain. I always tell people they post pictures on the Instagram and then they come on stage looking less than stellar. I mean, not even close to what they look like on Instagram. And Nick, even though his pictures are impressive on Instagram, he looks better on stage.
Yeah, I expect Nick to deliver big time.
Yeah.
Big time, and give Derek hell and possibly even beat him.
You think so? You think Nick Walker can beat both of them, Derek and Martin?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to believe that he can do it. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
proving us wrong too many times.
Yeah. And I think that he is motivated, driven.
Imagine if he would beat Derek in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
that would mix the whole damn thing again.
if
We
Derek's
would.
not 100%, yeah.
You think Derek will come in less than 100%? If that was me, if I would have been Derek and I know I'm not 100%, I would have faked a heart attack the night before the show.
Derek, okay, here it is. I commend him. I take my hat off to him. Confidence. Now, this is a one guy that probably should think about that one show. Why do it? You have the greatest momentum ever beating Mr. Olympia at the Arnold Classic, right? What do you have to prove with the Pittsburgh now? You know, I don't get it, but I commend him for it. Oh, this is it. But think about it. He has never in his career do so many shows. And we're talking about peak for the Olympia, peak for the Arnold, and then 10 weeks later, 10 weeks is 2.5 months. It's not like 2 weeks that you can keep the condition. And that's when somebody that didn't experience this over and over again can realize, oh shit, my body is not responding the way I wanted to.
What I said a couple of weeks ago, I said, if that was me, I would never do it. That's too risky.
Yeah. Especially like me placing top 10 and stuff like that is no big deal. Him, beating Mr. Olympia and then going against former top 3 and the current top 4, the place right behind him. That's a risk, ultimate risk. But listen, that's what I love that about Derek. And now what he's doing, I take my hat off. He has a courage that I would not suggest to anyone.
If he wins Pittsburgh, he's the favorite going into the Olympia for me.
But even if he doesn't, even if he...
Oh, no. How?
If he loses, then...
Pittsburgh, he can't be the favorite going into the Olympia. Then it's open. Then it's wide open because now we got Samson, we got Hadi, we got whoever beats him if he get beat, and him. So then it's open. But if he beats Nick Walker, and we'll expect the best Nick Walker, right? We're going to expect the best Nick Walker ever. If he beats Nick, that means he beats the top 3 from 2 years ago. He beat the reigning Mr. Olympia. Now he only has to deal with Hadi. That puts him in the favorite spot for me.
Yeah, absolutely. But listen, Hadi is Hadi. And it was super close between him and Samson, right? It's super close. And Hadi beats Derek, okay?
Yeah, Derek wasn't even close to what he was at the Arnold. The Arnold was a different Derek. This is the same thing we saw last year with Hadi when Hadi came to the Arnold and fucking killed it.
You know what pisses me off? This is what pisses me off. You can find the pictures from Olympia, of Derek and Arnold Classic. And even on some pictures, Olympia looks better than Arnold. Yeah, I'm serious. But we've been there, And when you try to explain to people, it's not even close. But a picture says, yes. It's so deceiving. Like, holy hell. So when you look at the pictures, maybe 70% of people go this direction. No, 100% should go this direction, but it's not what you see on the photos.
Yeah.
Derek delivered it big time. I just don't know. Look, he was behind in his Arnold Classic prep. Remember how they were saying, like 6 weeks out, he didn't look so convincing, but then they pulled the plug, and first time they worked together and worked perfectly. But now, 10 weeks later, ooh, Martin is Martian, right? He's so dedicated. He's going to bring, I think, his best ever package because he challenged Nick Walker last year at New York for no
Yeah.
reason,
But
right?
is he going to be big enough to beat Nick?
Yeah, Nick beat him narrowly last year, right? It's not like there
It
was
wasn't
small
really,
Nick.
it wasn't really a good Nick, though.
Yeah, but it was not small Nick.
Yeah, but it wasn't a good Nick. And if you're a good Nick, a good Nick is so much more detailed that he appears to be bigger. And Nick might get the Arnold. Listen, a Nick Walker, like when he won the Arnold,
Yeah. That Nick, holy hell.
I don't care if he doesn't have to be 1 gram fucking heavier. If he brings that look, that was an awesome, that was the best Nick I've seen so
Yes,
far.
absolutely. That's when I forever became his fan right there. Like, okay,
And his hater at the same time.
I'm not a hater. Yeah.
Thank
It's
God we got the fans.
when you really analyze pose by pose and hardness and thickness and size and width, holy hell. Now the back double biceps is becoming like something that we would want to see next to Derek. Nick believes he can beat Derek in back double biceps. Now, I think Derek still has the advantage because that crazy V taper going into the
But Nick has things that Derek does not have in the back double it's called back double biceps. You
night.
don't see you don't see anything, no biceps in Derek's back double.
I agree.
Nick's back double, the biceps is like two fucking camel fucking humps.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So there's parts in where I think Nick is more impressive, and Derek for his detail, for his hamstrings and glutes. But when it comes to hamstring size, Nick from the rear, fucking crazy.
Side chest, side triceps, I see Nick beating him. Most muscular, I see Nick beating him.
What about front double? We went through this before. We
Yeah,
had
we
a
went through it. Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
studio.
So how do you judge Nick Walker in the front double when there's upper body is Mr. Olympia and lower body is
Well,
not?
he brought his legs up, and if he gets the condition that he had at the Arnold the year he won, then I think he's going to be also very, very dangerous in the front double.
But his legs only don't look powerful and big from the front.
Maybe because the way he stands, maybe he has to switch up his stand a little bit to make him look a little bigger. Like
Yeah.
Derek. Derek has to put his leg up,
Yeah.
and there's a reason why he puts his leg up.
Of course.
So maybe Nick has to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Just sometimes, switch up the poses a little bit, try to be a little bit more impressive, because from the waist up, Nick's front double is ridiculous.
Hey, how about we bring two horses and put on the stage and they can ride the horses?
Big poses, you just bring them
Yeah.
on.
I know they're gonna hate me, but I had to just throw that in. Yeah.
What else what's new with the UFC, man? Are we going to get some new fights that we can announce?
No.
Are we going to see?
Is it Tuesday? Not today. Thursday. I'm going to Miami. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to the Fibo. You go to Miami.
No.
I already signed up with DAZN, and I'm going to be watching. The good thing is, because we are so far ahead, I'm going to have the show Saturday night. The show will be done by 10 o'clock. The prelims start at midnight.
Oh,
Or
see
1
everything.
o'clock in the morning. And the main card starts at 4 a.m. for me, so it's perfect.
so you can see everything. Okay, then we'll be.
I'm going to get 3-4 hours of sleep, and then I'm going to watch the main card, and from there I'm going straight to breakfast and to the expo.
There you go.
Oh, I'll be watching. You know I ain't gonna miss it. There's no fucking way. I'm an Alex fan, but I'm kind of leaning towards Diego on this one.
Yeah, because you know his management.
Not so much because of him, because of his fighting style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alex is Alex, I think so.
Yeah, when we saw Alex the last 2 times getting put to sleep twice.
Yeah.
So now I'm think he's a little more hesitant because Diego is somebody that's going to come out quick. He's trying to get him.
Mm.
So I think Alex is going to be, because how, I mean, when you ask a fighter, it's like you ask a bodybuilder or ask a boxer, they get knocked out and then, they forgot about it. They practiced training and now they're saying, I'm gonna win this fight. I can't see this fight going any other way until.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, look at Tony Ferguson. And I'm not saying that Alex is Tony Ferguson, but
Yeah.
who's the betting favorite?
I didn't look, but I would think it's Alex. I think that's
I,
good,
I,
good question.
yeah. So what about I've been watching more videos with Tom, with Tom, and I really want to see that fight now.
Tom and John.
The more I watch,
is waiting for it.
the more I watch Tom's stuff, the more I think how good of a person he must be.
He is. Hey, he is.
He really comes across as a fucking legit guy. That is he just wants to be the best.
Yeah.
And John seems to be. It looks like he's just trying to get him frustrated. Because he's a young guy, he wants to fight now. He's in his prime, and it looks like John is dragging him out to frustrate him, just to take him off his
It's
game.
an art of war. Art of war. Yeah, you have to do everything possible. Yes.
Yeah. That's what it looks like to me. So shit, that would be. Do we have a main event for fight week in June?
Hold on a second.
28th. It's the same day as my show. We have
28?
June 28th. Yeah.
It's not announced. I mean, hold on a second. What is it?
Nothing announced.
And Sean, is this?
That's before.
That's New Jersey, right?
Yeah. Hold on. June 28th. They don't even have anybody on that card yet, and that's the big one.
Mm.
So.
Oh, I mean, it has to be like some championship fights.
Yeah. It's got to be 3/17, June 28th. Nothing to be announced.
Okay. Well,
I still have. You think Tom would know if he's fighting on that card?
he wouldn't. I mean, there's nothing announced for sure. Yeah.
I don't know, but I think he should just fight whoever and just fucking defend the damn interim title and just keep fighting.
He did it once, right?
You know,
it's just like he defended interim title. He won against Sergey,
defend it and show the world you're the best. Fuck it, make that money. He's sitting there.
I'm sure that he's ready to fight. I think that's probably what he was even saying, but now they don't want him to fight because it's like so close of making a deal. And even if, what did he say, 6 months? He wants a 6 months. 6 months. I don't know how accurate that is.
I think that's for just talk, just to piss everybody off.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't believe he needs 6 months. I think he's been training. If he wants to fight, if he's going to accept the fight, I think he's been training already behind closed doors and partying a little bit.
Yeah. There's no camp that lasts 6 months, right?
Yeah.
Even though John likes to analyze everybody, he analyzed every fighter from every potential category that he would fight already. He analyzed Stipe for 5 years before he fought him.
Who should Tom fight if he fights someone else? What do you think? What would be the best fight for him?
I mean, Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane is a striker and exciting fighter, and he's probably ranked.
Who else is there? But Cyril is fighting.
Really? Yeah.
Who is he fighting? Isn't he fighting Volkov, or was that
No,
canceled?
he lost to Volkov. He beat Volkov. He should have lost to Volkov, but he beat the Volkov in the last fight in T-Mobile.
So now he's not.
And then Tom beat Volkov already. You know, Tom beat basically 6 out of top 8 already. He just didn't fight Cyril. Cyril and one more guy, Almeida. That's 2 guys.
The Brazilian, the tall guy. Yeah.
He beat everybody else in 2 minutes and 5 seconds or 3 seconds, whatever it is.
That would be a good fight too, Almeida.
It's down the line probably, but the world is waiting for John Tom. Come on.
Yeah, they might have to wait.
Guy.
They might have to wait till the Madison Square Garden at the end of the year.
Yeah, maybe. I hope not. But
it's got to be either June or Madison Square Garden. There's nothing in between that they're going to put them on.
Yeah,
you know that. Those are 2 biggest cards in the year. It's June 28th and Madison Square Garden in November.
June 28th is impossible. It's too
that's the fight week. What's it called?
April, May. Yeah, International Fight Week. Yeah,
International Fight Week, and that's the last day. That's the card. That's the one I came to last year when Alex fought the Mexican guy.
Yeah.
Same weekend.
Well, let's see. Maybe next time we'll talk about it. All right.
All right, my man.
Enjoy your
I'll keep you posted.
night.
And I'll keep you toasted about the Fibo show. And enjoy Miami. And don't think I won't be watching. I'll see everything.
All right.
Take care, brother. Be safe, my man.
Yeah, my man.
All right. Bye-bye.